Alright, what's going on, everybody? This is Chase fan number 9 here, and welcome back to another video. In this one, I'll be talking about this past weekend at Homestead Miami Speedway for the NASCAR Xfinity and Cup Series. So, let's get to it. I'm gonna try and explain everything to the best of my ability, so just bear with me, y'all. So, Homestead happened, and I was actually well, for this specific track with the crappy 550 horsepower package that we have, the races this weekend were actually really entertaining to watch. There was lots of passing for the lead in both races. There was 4. We even saw 5 wide racing this weekend, so that was a pretty cool thing to see. There were times, there were lots of drivers running on, there were different drivers running in different lanes, and even the battles for position and for the lead were pretty epic in both races. So, yeah, for all this with the crappy package in Homestead, this was a good weekend. So, where do I begin? Xfinity Series. The Xfinity race was actually pretty good. The race, I got Racing Reference up so I can read it because it's easier for me to read it that way. The Xfinity race was pretty good. There were, there were a lot of lead changes during that race. At first, I thought Cindric was going to be a factor since he's been on fire ever since his win at Daytona. But then, as the race progressed, it showed that he wasn't the only one in the fight. The colleague cars, some of the Joe Gibbs guys, even what's his name, Noah Gregson came in the factor. So yeah, what else? Let's see. Even Brett Moffitt was even a factor running up there. He even led some laps under green, which is a pretty cool accomplishment for a small team like our motorsports. Even though his time at the front was short, as far as leading the race was concerned, he had overall a pretty good race, but unfortunately towards the end, he had a tire issue and he fell out of the top. He fell out of the top 10 and top 20. And there was a lot of tire fall off too, which also played a factor. Josh Berry, his rebound from outside the top 20 from that from that tire going down after he hit the wall, that was a pretty good recovery. Tyler Reddick was also a factor. He started deep in the field, but he eventually worked his way up. Did I think Reddick, the only Cup guy in the field, did I ever think he was going to be a factor? Nah, not really, but he was up there, and he actually led some laps. He led 8 laps, so that was a pretty cool deal. Austin Cindric led throughout different portions of the race, but as we got later on to the race, he just fell out, and he was never seen up at the front again. And then we had drivers like AJ Allmendinger, Noah Gregson, and of course, again, Brett Moffitt and Brandon Jones and Daniel Hemrick were up front towards the end. Now, speaking of Gibbs, Ty Dillon, we thought he was going to be a threat, but then he had a hole knocked into the radiator and his day was done. And then, Harrison Burton blew an engine under caution and his day was done. So, yeah, pretty much ended for him. Allgaier continuing to have bad luck, was wrecked coming off turn 2 after he got clipped by Herbst. His day was done and all that. So, yeah. For the Xfinity race, Noah Gregson, despite hitting the wall several times, he still somehow found a way to get to the lead. And even Snyder was also starting to become a factor too. And sorry if I'm going off, skipping all over the place, but even Colleague Racing were 1, 2, 3 at one point during the race. So it was a pretty good race for them. What else? Let's see. Oh yeah, so towards the end, AJ Allmendinger was leading, then Brett Moffitt led for a while, but I wasn't surprised Gregson caught them. I wasn't gonna sit there and act like Gregson wasn't there, because he was there and he was coming fast. He did eventually get the lead, and we thought he was on his way to his first win of 2021, but of course we all saw what happened, and I already explained it in my last video, so it's pretty obvious. Make sure to go check that out. Then we had the restart where we thought Tyler Reddick had the lead for a moment, and then of course, well, that prompted the first overtime. Then there was the second overtime with Allmendinger spinning out and saving it. My nose so itchy. Snyder, unfortunately, he spun the tires on that first restart, and I thought it was pretty much over for him. But thankfully, for that caution with Allmendinger, that gave Snyder another chance, and he executed that restart well and managed to hold off the field. And what does he do? He ends up getting his first career win. Man, so happy for Myatt Snyder, the son of Marty Snyder, not a silver spoon kid, just a kid who has a dad that just works in the same business as he does, but only for reporting though. It was cool to see RCR win, considering that they've been good there in the past, especially when Tyler Reddick was driving it. Well, granted, Reddick was good on the half-mile tracks when he was in Xfinity, but still, this was a pretty good run. Tyler Reddick, well, we thought he finished second, but in reality, he actually got disqualified from his second place run. But I gotta admit, it was a good race though for the only Cup guy in the field. Taking a look at the result. Nope, stupid thing is slow. Some of the Gibbs guys did get a top 10. Clements was up there too for a while, and he did get a top 10 result. Ryan Sieg, even Brett Moffitt recovered from his tire issues to finish 7th. Yeah, so Brandon Jones was ultimately credited with 2nd, and then Daniel Hemrick finished 3rd. Jeb Burton 4th, and Austin Cindric 5th. Dang, Cindric led a lot of laps. So yeah, it was a pretty good race overall for them. Even this was the first race for Ferrucci. We thought he was going to have a good run, but then he hit the wall early, and yeah, that was it for him. So yeah, that's pretty much all they wrote. Brandon Brown and some others were up there, but they had issues late, and that was the end of their race. So yeah. So how would I rate the race? I would give it like a... well, like I said, considering the track and the crappy package they have, I give it like an 8 out of 10. So yeah, that would be my ratings for it. Even Riley Herbst finished 11th, JJ Yaley 12th, and David Starr, he actually finished 21st in the race after cutting that tire. So what more can you do? But anyways, with that out of the way, let's go to the Cup race. Cup race was pretty good. The Cup race, it was one of those races where I had no idea who was going to show up during the race, regardless of what time. Well, I'm just going to put it this way. It was just one of those races where I had no idea who was going to show up. At first, I thought it was going to be Logano. Thought it was going to be Keselowski. Let's see. I thought Logano was going to be a factor, but his car fell off early in the race, and he never saw the lead again. We thought Keselowski was going to be a factor. He was up there, but he wasn't... Well, he did lead a couple of times, but he wasn't really a big factor. And then I never thought in a million years I'd see Chris Buescher show up during the early part of the race. Well, that's exactly what happened, and guess what he did? He won stage 1. That is probably the best run I'm gonna see out of that I've seen out of Chris Buescher in a long time. Never thought I'd see Chris Buescher lead 57 laps. I'm just like amazed, unbelievable. That was a good race for him. And Kyle Larson as the race. Oh yeah, Kyle Larson started at the back, but he eventually worked his way up through the field. Chase Elliott had his hand at the lead for a moment. Daniel Suarez, even though he stayed out. Truex was starting to show up. I mean, out of all the Gibbs guys, Kyle Busch was nowhere to be seen. He wasn't a factor. Neither was Christopher Bell, last week's winner. By the way, the races last weekend at the Daytona Road Course were pretty cool. Congrats to Rhodes, Ty Gibbs, and Bell on their first wins, and Rhodes on his 5th. So yeah, those races were pretty crazy too, with the rain and all that. So yeah. Anyways, sorry for going off topic again, but anyways, Chris Buescher, we thought he was gonna be a factor, but unfortunately his car, well, as it got dark and the track changed, he just was no longer a factor, and he was nowhere to be seen. He pretty much struggled to get back up there. Anyways, oh yeah, back to Gibbs. Out of all the Gibbs guys, Hamlin and Truex were the only ones that were at least up competent for once. Hamlin, he did start back towards the back. He was the pole sitter, but no wait, I wasn't not. Oh yeah, Hamlin was the pole sitter. He started up front. He fell back. Well, the only reason why Logano led was because Hamlin dropped to the rear. But anyways, Hamlin was up there, and then there was that battle for the stage 2 win. Hamlin basically gave he and Truex away the stage win and handed it to Byron, and during one of the pit stops, Hamlin, he got penalty on his last pit stop, and once he got that penalty, that was it. He did gain a couple position, but not much. Hamlin was flirting with the top 10 prior to him getting back to the front, and was eventually, and also he was working his way up as he did so. So it took him a while. Let's see. Oh yeah, Alex Bowman. Even speaking of Roush Fenway, Ryan Newman was flirting around in the top 10. Like, he was running around 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th place, around those positions. So yeah, overall Roush had a good day. I'm about to sneeze. Even both RCR cars were up in the top 5 and all that. So yeah, it was a pretty good day for them as well. Even Kurt Busch was having a good race. He was running up there, but then late in the race, he had a nasty vibration, had to pit, and eventually he actually did recover the 8th, which I think is a pretty damn good recovery by the elder Busch brother. But yeah, Truex was pretty much a factor towards the end of the race. Same for Kyle Larson, even though Kyle Larson led only 5 laps still. However, though, once Byron won that stage win, William Byron, he was pretty much, his car pretty much showed up as the race continued on, especially towards the end of stage 2, because, I was reading it. But anyways, yeah, it was a sign of things to come. Byron, he led 2 laps earlier in the race, and then as stage 3 progressed, he led like a good dozen laps, and considering the package, he managed to work his way through traffic. And as he did that, Reddick, Larson and Truex were battling behind them, and then as that was happening, Reddick was actually gaining ground. He actually gained like 30 seconds or something. he gained up a ton of ground in a short amount of time, and he was able to come all the way to finish second career runner-up. Last one was Texas last July, so good run for him. But I think if he had like a couple more laps, there's no doubt that he probably would have caught Byron, but Byron managed to hold them off and was able to score his William Byron was able to score his second career win at Homestead Miami Speedway. I knew Byron was gonna win again, but did I think he was gonna win at Homestead? Nah. And I don't think I picked him to win. This is like the third consecutive week that none of my picks won. I hope Vegas is a whole different story. So yeah, also speaking of another thing, Stewart Haas, Harvick and Custer, they had pretty good days. Harvick, Custer, Briscoe, not so much. Almirola, he was up there until he had that incident with Blaney, where I think he came up in front of Blaney while trying to do a slide job. Oh yeah, and we did see lots of slide jobs during the race. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Almirola, unfortunately, he collected Blaney, who has probably had the worst luck of all the Penske guys. I like Blaney, but it seems like he always gets the bad end of the stick when it comes to having something go wrong for him. I just don't understand it. But anyways, you guys know what I'm saying. Oh yeah, that battle for the lead with Chris Buescher and Keselowski, that was pretty epic, including that one time where Chris Buescher slid up and managed to close the door on Keselowski. That was freaking epic right there. You don't see that from a driver like Chris Buescher as much, so gotta give credit. But anyways, yeah, William Byron did win the race. Everyone passed inspection. Everything's all good. Reddick got second. Thought Larson had third, but Trix got him for that. And Michael McDowell. Did I really think he was going to get top 10 in this race? In the Cup race? Nah. Well, I didn't expect Byron to win the race, show up in the race and win. Well, I didn't expect Michael McDowell to get a top 10 in the race, but he did, and I think it's very impressive. You don't see something from McDowell like that. But I hope he can keep that streak going at Las Vegas. That will be a pretty cool accomplishment if he can do so. And I'll leave it at that. Newman, Kurt Busch, Bowman, Kyle Busch round out the top 10. And my man Chase Elliott, well, he was up there for a little bit, but he wasn't really a race factor. So, oh well. So much for last year's second place. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I want to thank y'all for watching. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. And with that, I'll see you on the next video. If I had to rate the Cup race, I'd give it, just like the Xfinity race, I might give it an 8 out of 10 as well. So, yeah. But anyways, that'll do it for this video. I want to thank y'all for watching. This has been ChaseFan number 9. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. All right. Bye-bye.